how's the squad looking, kind of injury-wise, everyone back and so on?
Yeah, we've got a squad of 19, so there is a spare one. I've probably told that person, if you're not in the squad, do you want to come? I'll wait and see what his answer is at the minute. I'm not forcing him, but obviously there's an additional cost, but I'm trying to keep everything together. Obviously Ollie's out, everybody else has come through unscathed, so but we're adding Coxey to that, so we might have 18, we might have 19. So no, I'm just looking forward to try and see if we can learn. Bitterly disappointed with the second goal. As a manager, you try and get those messages through to your team. Make sure you concentrate for at least a couple of minutes to make sure you keep that lead, take that. I think we over celebrated. So did I. I actually was so pleased with the subs who came on, who helped make the goal. I went too far, but yeah, it is what it is. So we'll see. Got 11 games left, starting with Doncaster, probably one of the best footballing teams in the division. So we're going to have our work cut out, because we're not very good when we haven't got the ball. Even now, we're not very good when we haven't got the ball. So big test for the lads.
How far have you come then without the ball, and what's still for you to do you think, as a team, to be even more effective?
It's about coordination across the front line, the middle line and the back line, getting where you need to be. And if they do get out, to stop them advancing. We don't know whether to drop, whether we should hold, whether we could come up. You know, there's a few fundamental things we need to do as the ball's travelling. You haven't always got to drop. The deeper you drop, the harder it is to get your unit back together. So there's an awful lot that the team need to recognise. And it's not just, it's their thinking time. Who should be thinking now? Who should be deciding where the team goes? And sometimes that starts from the front line. If they're putting a high press on, it starts from the middle line, because they tell the back line, the front line, not to go because we're not set up. And then in the end, ultimately, it's the back line that makes those decisions of where we are. And if they're not high enough, and if they're not making it easier for the middle line to connect, then there's the problem. But ours is fundamentally all of us learning that they're involved. So the furthest away from it has to do a lot of the talking. And sometimes in this level, they're not switched on. So I'm trying to wake them up, lights on all the time, not lights on, lights off, if the ball's not in your area. So there's an awful lot of work to do with that. So that's what we're trying to focus on. And for me, we're nowhere near what I want. It's not an instant reaction. It's not an anticipated situation. It's all in bits and bobs. So sometimes in some games we look great at it, other times we look awful. And unfortunately, their second goal, the back line didn't deal with it. It dropped, then it didn't deal with it again. And the only one who was alive was our goalie. He saved it, it hit the post. And one bloke followed in past 3 defenders, got there first. Absolutely shocking. But that's cost us that result, you know. But and with Doncaster, the way they play, I remember my Grimsby team played Grant McCann's team, and we couldn't get the ball off him. It was great work with his back 2 and his midfield 2. They had a box, and they were really skilled at moving people around, running people away to take your back line away. So I know what he does. He's a very good manager. So and they're an excellent team, playing a very different way, very similar way to Notts County, who caused us massive problems. You were there, you saw the game. We were blooming awful. So am I expecting us to be better than that? Yeah, but we got to be an awful lot better.
I could be entirely wrong. Are you trying to defend a bit higher up recently? Is that
No, we follow where we put the ball, and then we try and win it there, and then we can play from there. It's quite simple, really. Sounds. The simpler you keep it, the easier it is for everybody to understand. But you obviously can't stop what the opposition do. So that's why it was such a good game the other day. I thought Salford did really well with it. They haven't won in a few games, but that he knows what he's doing, Carl Robinson. So I thoroughly enjoyed that game, man. I've watched it back, and 2 good teams, I felt.
talked a lot about sort of challenge of Doncaster, but there's an interesting quirk in their home form in that they've only beaten one side in the top half, and they're really good at beating the sides in the bottom half. So does that give you any hope, or make you feel everything?
Well, which half are we in? You know, it's just disappointing. You know, for me, I'm disappointed where we've done all of this hard work, and really, are we anywhere near where I want to be now? Really frustrating. Find it really frustrating. And if you look at the couple of home draws we've had, if you look at Harrogate away, you look at the standard that we played to, I don't think those results reflect how well we played. So if we got a point at Harrogate, if we got 2 more against Port Vale, if we got 2 more the other night because we were actually leading, that would have made a big difference, and I think we needed those. And if you look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more points on our, if we had 5 right now, I'd be talking totally differently than I am. But unfortunately, that's where we are. We got 11 to go. If my mathematics is right, that's 33 points in it to play for. And if you look in the last 33, how many have we actually got? Can we replicate that again? Will that give us a chance? Probably not. If we get maximum points, winning 11 in a row, I don't think anybody's done that for quite a while. That'll give us, what, 78, is it?
Yeah, that'll be 78.
That'll be 78. That might get in the playoffs, mightn't it? But we'd have to be better than Walsall from now until the end of the season, because they managed 8 wins in a row, didn't they? Even in their bad spell, they've lost 1, drawn the last 3. So, you know, it's a tough ask, but we'll give it our best shot, see where we are. Keep enjoying what we're doing, keep working hard, keep learning. Me as well, learning about groups, learning about how they're taking it, learning about what we're like when we don't get what we want, and see where it takes us. But it feels an awful lot better. I'm glad we haven't got to win 6 more games than a few teams, you know, like other people have. With the greatest respect, we were lower than them a few months ago, the 2 at the bottom. So I'm very, very grateful for when we've done this. Timing is absolutely vital. And do I see us capitulating and getting it all wrong? No, I don't.
How much have you got an eye on this squad and what it could do next season? What kind of tweaks you feel you need to make?
Yeah, every minute of every day. We're all on trial, aren't we? So I look at it until things are signed, crossed and dotted. Every one of us is on trial, including me. That's the way it is. I don't think there's a lot wrong with that in life, to be fair. I think all the politicians should be still on trial. All the world leaders should be still on trial. And you should be judged what you do today. You know? Wow. Need I say more?
I guess for some people, once every 4 years is not enough. But anyway.
Oh my goodness me, yeah. And if you do say something, why don't you stick to it? Really?
And I guess the last one for me, does that, I know you were particularly keen to talk about your kind of future and your contract, but you were quite hopeful about that happening last time we...
Yeah, I've told everybody involved, my side and the club side, that I'm not interested in that at the moment. They deal with it. I'm more than happy where I am. They deal with it. I don't want to know about it. I'm trying to get some results. This is not about me. This is about the club and see where we can get, because I'm behind snookered. That's how I feel. And you never know what you can achieve in any given point in time. We might not ever have this feeling ever again. You never know, right? So let's try and utilise it. All I want to concentrate on is not me. It's about us, about where we are. So I haven't even asked. It's nothing to do with me. I'm not interested in that at the moment. I am just trying to get as many points as I can from now until the end of the season to see where that takes us. And everybody knows that. Every single person in there who's out of contract knows I'm in the same situation as them. And I think it's showing, because we're all at it.
So Does that mean that's coming down for your agent to sort? Or
Yeah.
You've just left that?
Exactly. It's down to him. I don't even want him to bother me with it. You know, I've told him what I want him to do for me, him to do for everything else here, for the scouting network, for this, for that, for this, for that, and so he knows what I want.
Yeah,
So I can just totally and utterly focus on one thing, which is our results, and working with these people to try and get them and make them who I think they could be, who I need long term for us to have success. So I think it makes sense, you know, my experience is telling me don't get caught in any of that. Ignore all of it and just get on with what you can control. My wife has a wonderful little sticker on the fridge. Her new philosophy is only 4 words and I can't say one of them. Not my problem. My problem is what I can deal with. So you can guess the other word, but it's so brilliant. It is insane. For when she turned 60, she said, that's it, I'm not doing things I don't want to do. Brilliant. It's unbelievable, because how many times do you have to do things? Think you've got to do things that you don't really want to do to please other people. Whoa, you should be pleasing yourself. So that's what I'm trying to do. And football pleases me. Good results, indifferent results, bad results, they do please me because you learn from them and you see other people growing. I think that's what I missed. Without having control of anything, because in life you haven't really got control of anything, have you? You just got to go with the flow and see how you respond to things. But I can actually build a environment that you can make it what you want. You really can. And I want an encouraging one, and I'm enjoying that at the moment, and that's all that matters. And it's encouraging without any promise of being in it, and hopefully the better I can make it, the more people want to be in it, and the more they want to show me, and the better they play and the better they do because they want to be part of it. So I'm not sure Chelsea's way of doing it is right, giving people 8 or 9 years, you know. Really not sure that's right, but who am I to tell them what to do?
Lovely, thank you very much.
There we go.
So does that kind of imply we won't see any movement on that until much later?
I have no idea. I'm not even interested. Do you understand what I mean? When I say that, I got more than enough to think about, right? Even the squad, do I bring the extra one? What if he is used to playing and he don't want to be? Do you know what I mean? Whoa, hang on a minute. I don't want anything to disrupt what we're thinking. Botan's in it. Hang on a minute. We got to sort about, you know, the work Mills he's doing to try and make sure we get his food at the right time for him. It's incredible. So there's all these little bits that we're our one big sort of load of cogs all turning at the same time. Can we get it all? And the lads understand, oh, this is better than it was. This is better. Because if you don't get it better than it was, you never got any chance. The facts are, I am delighted I'm not having these phone calls every minute of every day like I was in the window. We can actually concentrate on the football, and I think the football's improved since the window because I'm concentrating only on the football, not who might go, we might. Do you get what I mean? That's got to be other people, and I'm trying to get all of that in place as well. So, and we need more other people, not less. We need more other people because to do it the way that I want. So, regional scouts who are seeing things, who are ahead of the game, so I can then, by the time that this season finished, on a Wednesday night when we ain't got a game, on a Thursday night when we ain't got a game, I might be able to nip off and see someone who they've all recommended that I should definitely sign. That's where you're ahead of it. Do you get what I mean? So, or we have other eyes out there. You can't just rely on that data. I nearly said data there, which is terrible. But there you go.
Rich, you mentioned a couple of weeks ago that you wanted to bring someone you'd worked with before into the club. Are you still looking to do that? How's their situation?
Yeah, they weren't allowed to come. They had to serve their 3 months' notice. So he's still working that notice.
And then after Tuesday, Harry Smith said that the pressure's kind of now even bigger on the Doncaster game, like you're saying, to get the wins to get even closer. So how are you feeling? Do you view it as pressure? Do you view it as excitement? How are you looking at the game?
Alan Shearer's totally right. Pressure's for tyres. It's a joy to have a chance and what you have to do. There's still room for some failure, I think. Wriggle room, you know. And if you check history, the people who get in the playoffs, how many points do they need? You know, I wish we had 50 or something already, but we haven't. We're 5 points off of that. We're 7. How many are we away? Is it 10 or 11? So that's a big gap to make up in only 11, but there's still enough points. And when you look at who everybody's got to play, I did that this morning. Oh my goodness me. Are those bottom two going to win 6 games more than us? And one of them will have to do that even if they get the same points as us. Their goal difference is horrendous, whereas ours isn't. Ours is 0 now. They're minus 22 or something like that. So that's like an extra point. So you're constantly looking. But for me, I like to focus on what we're doing well, what we're not doing well. And as I've honestly said to you today, I only talk to you like I talk to them. We got a lot to learn, lads. You know? And what we can't do is do that again. Why did we do that? They took a kick off. What happened? And when you show them that, they're taking it in a non-negative way. Whereas when I first came in, if I showed them anything that was bad, how do you think that went down? So it's a process that we're getting to. So, you know, it's Harry's right, but it was in our program. Our captain said it. Clarkey. The longer this season's going to go on, the more important every single next game is going to be, because we've been so bad up to now. So we gave ourselves a massive problem. Luckily, we're not as in a bigger problem as the two that are currently holding the bottom 2 positions and the next one above, who were beating us with 3 or 4 or 5 minutes to go the other day, 1-0 here. And then wallop, we scored 3. So, you know what I mean? So this is what I'm pleased with. That spirit, that endeavour, that never say die stuff. So it depends how you want to look at it. Is that pressure? You know? For me, it's a much nicer pressure to think, can we get to the playoffs, than, oh my God, we're going down. I'm glad we're not in that situation, because we've done really well over the last few. And I don't want to slip back into there, because we're technically not safe yet. But when you look at the games we've all got to play, like I did this morning, I looked at Tranmere's games, I looked at Morecambe's games, I looked at Carlisle's games, just to make sure where I am in my head. And holy mackerel, I'm glad we've got those extra points that we've managed to accumulate over that little time span. And I feel much better about us than I would be if I was one of them. That's pressure. Can we turn this into a spectacular season? And if that's pressure, then they shouldn't be here.